Hi, this is Daniel Boy for the front row. Now I love it when a modern label to balance aesthetics with sustainability and the support of craft and village industries. And one such label is Maisha. And I'm thrilled to have the creative brains behind Maisha Concepts in our studio today. Welcome to the front row, Raki.
Thanks for having me. Nice to virtually see you again.
What an amazing collection. I remember we had so much fun shooting your virtual runway show, and I was amazed at the collections. But we'll go on and talk about the prints in a little bit. Let's start at the very beginning. What prompted you to start Maisha Concepts?
Okay, so Maisha Concept launched in 2014. It's a fashion and lifestyle globally inspired label. What made me start it? I was in finance for like 10 years, and I've always had this other passion of creating a collection with textiles. So I'm third generation Kenyan and of Indian origin. So I've grown up surrounded by cultures both from the East African region and from India. And my father's in the textile industry. So from a young age, I've been surrounded by local textiles and just watching my dad work. So that's how Maisha got started off, because we wanted to create more awareness about culture, tradition through textiles, heritage through textiles, and creating a modern collection through them, like reviving heritage art through textiles.
Fantastic. Did you start off with the intention for the label to be sustainable from the very start? And why sustainable?
So at that time, it was not like I was looking for it to be sustainable. I just wanted to, I just thought Africa and India had so much art to offer, and much, handmade art to offer. So I just wanted to create a collection using, artisanals. It was not like, say, I wanted to just focus on sustainability, but it just led to that path, sustainability and ethical, like an ethical collection. But we've always been like that from the day one. Yeah.
Well, what struck me about your collection are the amazing prints, and I stalk you on Instagram, so I followed the story of how you developed these prints. Would you like to tell us how, firstly, about this collection? What was the inspiration behind this collection, and how you developed the prints?
Okay, so this collection was just basically, I go to Rajasthan like 2 or 3 times a year, and from a young age, I've always been interested in architecture. So in India, there are these buildings called Havelis, and Havelis are old townhouses that can be small to big palaces, which have been built centuries ago. And there are also people staying. They're normally like families of 5 or 50 living in there, and they're just basically beautiful buildings which have been hand carved, and there's like hand paintings everywhere, all done maybe a century ago, and it's just known for these beautiful courtyards. So I was inspired by that, and I decided, let me create a collection regarding Havelis. Also, Havelis are like, a lot of them are derelict now, and they're slowly rotting. So I wanted to create awareness that, we should try revive our heritage and buildings, especially because nobody's gonna create buildings like that anymore. So anyways, so Haveli got launched, and yeah, the prints are the orange print I'm wearing right now resembles the windows of a Haveli. So back in the day, women were not allowed to attend functions with men. So they'd be looking at the function from the windows from inside their home. So these windows resemble a Haveli as well. And then the colors were just inspired by the summer colors and also by my customers. On Instagram, you can see from our following, I'm always asking our customers what colors they want in the new collection, what do they want to see more of. So the colors were purely inspired by our customers. And through that, our fabrics are just made. All the fabrics are made by hand. No machine has been used to make these fabrics. So there are about 7 or 8 different processes to make these fabrics, and all done by hand. And it's very reliant on the seasons. So if it's monsoon season in India, production is very slow. If it's the high summer season, production is faster because everything is dried in the fields. Everything is washed in the wells, in the local wells, and we use only natural dyes. So everything is literally done by hand by our family of artisans.
You are very supportive of village craftsmen, and you work very closely with them in the development of the prints and the fabrics as well. Was this something that you set out to do from the very start?
Yeah, I've always been interested in heritage. I feel like like my heritage is, it's been surrounded by so much culture, and I've always feel like there's so much beauty, but it's just not touched as much, or people are not aware about the this art. So I've always been interested to support artisans because I feel like they have such a high skill to create such beautiful things, and they should really, like, their work should be seen out there to the world, because slowly this skill is slowly dying because there's no opportunity for them. So through Maisha, we basically try to support their art and try to, like, showcase that their art is recognized all over the world, and to try keep this tradition going on as years go by. And through every sale, we support the standard of living of their families, of the village, etc. Yeah.
That's really fantastic, and that's so noble. And I wish there were more labels that had your philosophy as well. Now you were explaining to me about the print process, block printing, if I'm not mistaken. Now that's really
Yes.
fascinating. Would you like to walk us through this process?
Yeah, sure. So there are over 7 different processes to make a block print. So, like, for example, this skirt, it probably requires 2 meters of this fabric, but it takes about, well, it takes for, there's so many processes, but just to stamp this fabric would take about 20 minutes, while on a machine it'll probably take a few seconds. So that's the amount of work it takes into creating this fabric. But the processes that involved are from creating the design. I normally sketch the designs, then I go to India and we're literally hands-on this fabric. All the designs are carved onto wooden blocks, wooden, like old wooden blocks. They're carved onto it. You'll be able to see more in our Insta stories, as you've seen, Daniel. And then all the colors are basically, we're using natural dyes. No, not like purely natural dyes are used, and a lot of washing is done to remove all the, like, there's so many different processes of dyeing that a lot of washing is done, and a lot of drying is done. And then the final process is a stamping, and the stamping requires so many different, like, it has to be exact, and the precision should be exact. It's like literally painting on a fabric. So all this takes weeks and weeks to complete. A fabric takes like weeks to complete for this process to happen, and it also depends on the weather. So if it's currently in India, it's raining a lot, so all our production is slower. Is very slow at the moment because of the rain.
Well, that's something that's really interesting because I don't think a lot of people nowadays realize the amount of work that goes into the making of a Maisha concept garment.
Yeah, yeah,
There is a difference between a garment that's handmade, a print that's hand printed and hand created, and something that's machine made. And when you feel the fabrics, when you put the fabrics against you, you can tell. That was the first thing that struck me about your collection at the shoot. Now, Maisha Concepts is one of the labels that survived, that thrived during the lockdown, and I attribute that to your foresight of uh, having created a very very strong online. Uh, what prompted you when you started Maisha Concept? Did you set it out to be a very very strong online business and to build up the social media presence as well? Because I think that's really what the future of fashion is.
yeah. No, it is. It was. I didn't start off my show with an online platform. I started off as just doing pop-ups. because after 10 years in finance, I thought, let me just try this out. If it doesn't work out, I'll go back into finance. I'm glad I didn't. But anyways, 2 years later, I was getting so much interest from overseas market that, and I have a strong presence in Africa as well, that I decided we should definitely go online. And online is definitely the way to go, because now through social media, I can speak out the story about Maisha. We can talk about, everything about who made the clothes, how the clothes were made, where they're made. And at Maisha, we show full transparency of all that. Like, I'm so proud to say that we don't source fabrics. I literally work with the artisans for days. I stay with them and we create fabrics together as a team. And we're so high up there on being an ethical brand and supporting our artisans. That's what we're all about. So through that, to showcase all that on social media is really powerful, which leads to having an online presence, because now we have customers from all over the world. And because of that, I think we survived through COVID, having a strong online presence and a good following of people on social media.
Well, I think really you've hit upon the right formula, because whilst a lot of labels were struggling during the lockdown, Maisha Concept actually thrived, and a lot of your customers kept coming back for more. So congratulations! It's
Thank you.
I think labels like are really the future, and you're paving the way for the future for a lot of new labels as well. So congratulations on a great collection.
Thanks, Daniel.
For all of you out there, if you want to check out the full collection, there is a direct link right below to the Maisha Concepts web store. Just go in there and browse through. There's a lot of stuff on the store, and I must add as well. I'm absolutely amazed that you chose a dog to model the collection as well. It shows how versatile your scarves are, and I think the dog had a great time. So thank you.
Yeah, we had fun with Leah too.
Yes. So please click on the link to check out Maisha Contact's full collection right here at the front row. And if you're not following us on social media yet, do follow us. Our Instagram handle is at thefrontrow.style. And if you post the front row related pictures, do hashtag front row SG. That's the front row SG, so we can look for the pictures, find it, and like it. And please tell your friends all about the front row. There are lots of wonderful fashion shows like the one that you've just seen. We've got another 7 days of beautiful shows, exciting designers. We've got another 2 shows and a very interesting podcast coming up today. So please do tell all your friends about it, and enjoy your time.